Good and Evil, Part 2, a Bangtan Library presentation for the Wings project. Welcome to Part 2 of our video series on good and evil in the BTS Wings era. We hope that you will find and enjoy new perspectives on this groundbreaking album together with Bangtan Library. Good and Evil 1, a recap. In part 1 of this video series, we covered two perspectives on evil in Wings era content. Number 1, the Christian or Western view, that humans are naturally sinful and must constantly fight off an evil, tempting external force. And number 2, the Gnostic or Jungian view, that humans can learn how to think outside of dualities like good and evil, sin and virtue, to embrace the complexity of themselves and the world. Korean views on evil. In part 2, we are moving on to a more Korean perspective on evil, to give another layer of meaning to Wings. It's hard to cover all historical and societal views on evil here, so we will quickly mention two things before moving on. Number 1, Korean folklore features evil, dangerous beings, but they have nothing to do with morals or sin like the snake of the Bible. And number 2, Confucian philosophy, which has had a deep influence on Korean society, is rooted in the belief that humans are essentially good. Evil is not external or supernatural, but the result of the good human mind-heart struggling with the physical world around the body. In this presentation, we will focus on what evil means to Koreans in a more modern, everyday context. 250 Koreans took part in deep interviews with the author of these highly acclaimed books, What Evil Means to Us and Think No Evil, Korean Values in the Age of Globalization. Despite their diverse backgrounds and beliefs, the students, teachers, politicians, psychiatrists, housewives, farmers, Buddhist monks, Confucian scholars, and even Catholic priests that Alfred interviewed were in remarkable agreement about the non-existence of evil. Koreans regard evil not as a moral category, but as an intellectual one, the result of erroneous Western thinking. For them, evil results from the creation of dualism, oppositions between people and between ideas. Alfred's interviews with Koreans about their real-life experiences with evil revealed a pattern of thought. Instead of a good versus evil duality of forces outside of the individual, there is simply good and the absence of good. The fear and pain of losing the good is their evil. So what is the good that these Koreans from all walks of life feared losing to the extent that losing it would feel like evil to them? Be kind to us Bangtan librarians as we try to explain something we are not really in a position to explain. Jung. To attempt an explanation of the uniquely Korean concept of Jung, we will leave the good-evil dichotomy for a while and look at another one, individualism and collectivism. The values of a society can be more or less individualistic. Individualism has to do with whether people's self-image is defined in terms of I or we. In individualist societies, people are supposed to look after themselves and their direct family only. In collectivist societies, people belong to in-groups that take care of them in exchange for loyalty. The most individualistic nation is the United States of America. In stark contrast to the US, we have a country almost as extremely collectivistic as the US is individualistic, South Korea. So, what are the trademarks of a collectivistic society? Long-term commitment to a group, extended family or other groups. Loyalty that overrides most other societal rules. Society fostering strong group relationships and taking responsibility for fellow group members. Feelings are usually thought of as existing only inside individuals, but Jung is something as unique as a communal feeling of love, affection, loyalty, and more, existing like a cloud in, around, and between a group of people. The BTS members certainly have Jung. A quick side note. Yes, Jung is part of the names Jung Ho-suk and Jung Jungkook, but the same syllable has two other meanings and is not related to the feeling Jung, although you would be forgiven for thinking so when you see them together. Jung might be difficult to grasp if this is your first time hearing of it, but perhaps the bond between BTS and ARMY is close enough to Jung to give an idea what it feels like? Jung is so powerful in Korean society that it helped South Korea mount a quick defense against the COVID pandemic by putting the collective good ahead of individual discomfort. But it also made social distancing even more painful. It's this absence of Jung that feels like evil. Have you ever thought about how the Bangtan universe, or the BU, is full of scary and heartbreaking moments, even though there is no evil force? No monster, no demon, no villain. The evil in the BU is the dissolution of Jung, each member feeling isolated, facing away. TXT, the younger brother group of BTS under Big Hit Music, have the concept of Jung in their very name, Tomorrow by Together. Their TU, lyrics, and music videos for songs like Can't You See Me all deal with the evil of losing Jung between friends. Equipped with this knowledge of Jung and a more Korean view on good and evil, we can attempt a whole new analysis of the Wings album solo tracks: Begin, Lie, Stigma, First Love, Reflection, Mama, and Awake. Watch part 3 of this series to see the lyrics of these songs in a new way. Thank you for visiting the Bangtan Library. Browse our YouTube channel for more Wings Project videos and join our Discord server to discuss and read about BTS content.